He's bulbous in shape.
Bulbous.
Like, he's like Mr. Burns after he gets all these fucking medical injections. Stuff flowing.
I bring you peace.
She does not.
Unless you're my husband.
Yeah. All my child's friends.
So I finally know what it feels like to be a woman on dating sites.
Yeah, right. How so?
Fuck, the weirdest fucking, like, hiccup line. I don't even know what the fuck it would be the other day, man.
Yeah.
I just get this random ass message on Bumble or Hilly or one of those fucking things.
What is it? Hilly?
HILY. It translates to "Hey, I like you." Fucking weird. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. Sounds sweet. No, sounds cute.
Well,
sorry for judging.
Well, the message wasn't cute.
Yeah, right. So it's a pretty straightforward sort of.
Pretty fucking straightforward.
Yeah.
Message reads, I don't know how to drive a manual car. Can you teach me how to handle that knob?
That knob, not even stick.
There.
See, stick would work way better.
100%. That's what I thought.
Knob, yeah. What'd you say, though? Out of curiosity.
I did say I could provide some lessons if needed.
Is that how you phrased it? Yeah. My services will cost you $50 an hour. Guaranteed pass on your P's date. Rain and night driving included.
Ned's handjob school.
Yeah. Knob job. But you're not driving.
Fuck, how confronting is that, hey?
Advisor that going in automatic would probably be easier to get a P's. If you're learning, then you should probably just get an auto. Just more accessible.
Why doesn't anyone want to fuck me?
Life is lonely.
But seriously, how fucking, like, have you,
pretty forward.
like, have you got any shit like that?
Nah. But I don't know how I'd take it.
It's
like,
fucking,
yeah,
like,
right.
dude, it's so, like I said, sort of I mean, like, that's one time. I assume girls get, like, 50 messages like that a day.
I'd assume so. That's what I imagine.
Yeah.
It's just like this
Absolute cavalcade of just dicks just flying in your inbox.
Non-stop. Unless you put a little eggplant fucking...
Dick tsunami.
Yeah. That must be fun.
Oh, fucking hell.
Living a dick life.
Well, you know what's probably not fun?
Yeah, what?
Being Will Smith right now.
Yeah, nah, or ever. Not since the 90s, I don't think it's been fun. I reckon. Yeah,
Not since he
Independence
became
Day.
popular has it been
Men
fun.
in Black 2 or whatever. Like.
At least then.
Yeah. That's about when it started going down.
Since you start rapping about, like, when you make a rap song about the Wild Wild West, that's really like...
Not what you mean.
It's like the downward... Absolute banger.
That's the thing. That's probably not his worst song. Quite possibly.
I don't know. Yeah, now
Yeah.
to think about it, there's probably worse ones.
I don't know. I haven't dug deep enough.
Into his back catalogue.
Yeah. Never liked him for his music.
Yeah, I don't think many people did. You'd be weird to.
Jada wouldn't.
I mean, Jada doesn't like him for
Doesn't
anything.
respect him for nothing.
Oh, fucking hell. Let's start here with
Called
this.
him one pack.
One pack.
He's half the man Tupac was.
All right, so that's probably the biggest headline from the week of her coming out with that bullshit of saying, like, oh, Will and Tupac would have been really good friends. It's like, yeah, like
Heaps
one
in
of
common,
the,
eh?
like, yeah, heaps in common, man. Like one of the people who's respected as one of the greatest rappers of all
Yeah.
time. Like
King of the Ghetto and Prince of Bel-Air.
people, like legitimately, like people. There's that many rappers today that wouldn't rap if Tupac wasn't a thing, and you're gonna compare him to the guy that wrote "Getting Jiggy with It" and "Summertime."
Getting jiggy with it.
Yeah, na 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 na.
That's a bop, bro.
Oh, fucking. Like they could not be two
Actual
polar
talent and then
opposites of
just
people.
Studio magic, like.
But like, I didn't think that the offhand comment that I made 2 weeks ago of, oh, imagine getting clocked by a dead guy would like come to complete fruition. Like,
Well, you know, I think it's been a story for him for a long time by the looks of it. Like, this isn't actually new.
I think it's probably shit that gets screamed at him in like their deepest, darkest moments.
Yeah, who knows where it goes and how quick it'd get there on like a daily basis. Like, you're on eggshells. And I love, it's bad because he always frames it as like he's wrong. Like he's always wrong and grateful. And it's like, you're getting shit on, dude.
But he was a mad Tupac fan before it too.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, thrived on it.
Just
Wanted to meet him one day.
He went to a room one day, like
Just
he's fucking
always wanted his respect.
Yeah. Just fucking one day he finally snapped and went to his record room. Just
he was a good actor. Like talented. Will Smith.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Tupac.
Oh no. But Will Smith he's been in some good movies, I reckon.
Yeah, he has.
So I don't understand why he's doing it.
Well, he's not doing it. It's his wife, consistently.
Yeah, no, but he
on the press run for a fucking book.
Like he's sitting there taking it.
Oh, well, fucking.
Well, actually saying thank you. That's more of a weird thing. He's like, I'm grateful for being fucked on.
All right, well let's move on to his
in front of my kids.
This was his
Yummy
statements on the book.
Yeah.
Will Smith calls relationship with wife Jada sloppy public experiment in unconditional love at book talk. Made a surprise appearance for the end of a talk for his wife's new book. On the stage, hometown is Baltimore.
Don't know if you guys know me. I'm Will Smith, Jada's the estranged husband.
We still live together.
He's gonna mysteriously die one day.
100%.
Yeah.
And Tupac will just mysteriously reappear.
Oh fuck! Sacrifice. That's all this was. They're just preparing Will Smith's soul to resurrect Tupac.
One day, fucking Will Smith's gonna walk in the front door, and fucking Tom Cruise and fucking John Travolta are gonna kidnap him with a burlap sack, take him to the top of that volcano, and throw him in.
Take him to the Scientology fucking headquarters, a big blue building.
Wait, Will Smith's a Scientologist, isn't he?
Wouldn't be surprised.
I'm
I actually
pretty
have
sure
no
he
clue.
is.
I don't know.
I feel like he is.
I feel like he's had a few different religions.
Searching for any kind of meaning.
Yeah, and now he just worships Jada. Like, couldn't find anything else.
Fucking, so her hometown is Baltimore, and we're gonna get onto something about that in a minute. Because, like, was Baltimore where The Wire was set?
No clue, actually.
Feel like it was something like that. I know that Baltimore's not a nice area, so we're gonna get into that in a minute.
Yeah, is it east or west?
I don't think it matters.
Oh, okay. So you don't know. Doesn't matter, Clint. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Doing something else.
I'm just trying to find these little quotes here. He shared some heartfelt feelings about, or thoughts about his feelings for Jada.
He never exposes his feelings.
And the couple's relationship. Oh, except for when they're like, dragged out of him on her stupid ass fucking podcast.
All
where
the fucking time.
Yeah, where she just consistently talks about how she fucks all of his son's friends.
What is that?
I don't know.
Like, how old are his friends?
Like,
there's obviously going to be an age variation, but not all just the one age.
Well, like his son's only like in his very early 20s.
Yeah.
And you can imagine this has been happening for a while.
Yeah, exactly. So, a bit concerning.
Yeah, definitely concerning.
House of Jada.
Calls their relationship brutal and beautiful and a sloppy public experiment in unconditional love. Yeah, where does that fucking...
Yeah, well, I don't know. You fucking... If any sort of describing word for your relationship is like brutal, if that comes to your mind,
we call it brutiful.
So not a good sign, like, really. Yeah, no, her love for me is brutal, It's left me hollow and blank. I love it. It's so beautiful. These are tears of happiness that I cry when I try to sleep.
It pains me to exist.
When I'm staring at the
on
ceiling.
a daily basis.
Like, fuck.
She sucks the life out of me.
Like, it's really sad. It's really sad, but it's also like, how many years are you going to do it for?
Yeah, at this point, it's like...
There's options, man, like, for him.
There's options other than posting weird-ass cryptic videos of fucking... What was that?
Oh, sneezing and
then like a fucking...
Zooming out
an acid trip? Yeah.
Probably a Scientology fucking promo. Trying to recruit us.
He's just going to fucking...
buy some books. No, I think it was just supposed to be his, like, reaction video.
Reaction to what?
Give a book.
But what does it mean?
No, I don't know. That's the idea, I think.
Does it even mean anything to him? Does anything mean anything to him?
It'd be pretty hollow. Like, really.
It's just a shell.
Don't know what. Jada matters.
Fucking hell. Anyway.
Yeah,
we say that she came from Baltimore. And probably the biggest
Streets.
second headline of the week. Jada Pinkett Smith on why she sold drugs as a teen. That was my solution to survive.
Oh yeah, right. She had to live.
What the fuck is this shit, man?
What she's selling crack?
Apparently.
Crack.
Yeah.
Not even just like slinging some weed, like chill
Yeah,
drugs,
like
you know.
hard drugs.
Yeah, the hardest. Never got caught, I'm sure. No. Any arrests ever?
No, not that I know of.
Are you really selling drugs if you haven't been arrested?
I was just really good at it.
Yeah, I
I was the
smarter.
best.
I was just smarter than most of these other cunts. I
Yeah.
stood on the same corners. Like, what? Okay, Jada.
Did all the same things. They just didn't touch me because I was me.
Because I'd wear wigs.
I wear wigs.
I was always in disguise. I didn't know who I was.
In disguise since I was born.
Was she born with no hair?
Fucking hell, man.
Was that
I don't. No,
alopecia?
she had hair before, but she
Jalapeno.
lost it for some fucking reason.
Got jalapenos, man.
Jalapenos.
Poor thing.
Fuck, man. Like,
Jalapenos.
having habaneros. It'd be fucking terrible.
Yeah, that sucks.
Fuck, she's got that ghost peppers,
Got
whatever that
fucking
is.
Haribo gummies, man.
Srirachas.
Srirachas. Poor thing.
Fuck me.
Poor little skull.
But who was the DJ that came out and pretty much instantly not decried what she said, but said something to the effect of like, you know, we know where she grew up. There's
Can't remember that
guaranteed to
guy's
be.
name.
I think it might have been like DJ Quick or something like that.
Sounds right.
Somebody,
Let's go with
you know,
it.
quote me if I'm wrong, but the quote was something to the effect of like, if you go back to the neighborhood where she grew up, there is probably people that made it out of their addiction that still remember buying
Could be
crack off
around.
her.
Yeah, it was
Exactly.
like,
That can
oh,
vouch
yeah,
for
I
her
remember
doing that.
That bald bitch.
Exactly.
Oh, no, she's in disguise. Because you would remember that.
You would.
Like, she's got a prominent skull. Like,
Yeah.
you know, distinct.
She looks like one of those things from when
Like a
Mars
blind
attacks.
person's dream, like.
I say that as a fucking
Yuck. Is it right? She does, though. She's bulbous in shape.
bulbous.
Like, he's like Mr. Burns after he gets all these fucking medical injections, starts glowing.
I bring you peace.
She does not.
Unless you're my husband.
Yeah. All my child's friends.
Yes.
Imagine the fucking roller coaster they went on.
Oh, God, man.
Bro,
I mean, it probably wasn't as bad for them.
dark. Still, I don't know. I'd feel a bit guilty. That was like my mate's mum would be like, oh, probably wouldn't come over for a while and shit.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Probably shouldn't have done that, eh?
oops. Would you tell?
Well, yeah, can you imagine
Would you
being
be
that
like,
dude, like
"Oh,"
sitting there and just like,
Like,
oh,
tell him?
oh, there's a new Red Table Talk episode. She's talking about what?
Jaden.
Sitting there with
like,
Jaden, just like,
20 missed calls afterwards.
yeah.
I never knew she was going to say anything. He came on to me. I was drunk. Fired me with wine.
No, that's the thing. The dude that she banged was like, he was living with them because he was recovering from a drug addiction.
Oh. Sounds like she's the type to take advantage, though.
100%. I mean, she's been taking advantage of Will Smith for a good part
Yeah.
of 3 decades.
Sort of like got this praying mantis vibe. Like, fuck you and eat your head. You know what I mean? Like, she's just mean. Cruel.
yeah, like it's
That's
just
not
fuck-
necessary. You don't need to eat my head.
like legit. Like everything that she's doing is unnecessary.
really.
But at the
eating
same
heads.
point in
Why is
time,
she eating heads?
you made that point before of like Will Smith is just then like going and doing that shit. Like,
He
oh,
keeps growing his
I'm
head back and then
supporting
getting
her.
it eaten again.
Yeah,
I'm grateful she eats my head off every day. Metaphorically, I
it makes
guess.
me feel good.
Like, fuck,
Makes me
yeah.
feel wanted.
So nice. So good sleeping on a tiny little fucking pedestal. Like, you know those little things they put on the end of the bed? Like a little, like basically a stool, a throw sort of thing.
Yeah,
Little mini bed. That's what he sleeps on.
yeah.
Like a dog. It's like a dog bed. I've seen it.
It's got a little cage in the corner with Will written on it.
Will. You're like riding Willy.
Yeah,
Anyway.
the Fresh Prince.
That's it though.
Oh, fucking hell. All right.
Mm.
Not the greatest segue, but moving on to,
Not everything has to be a segue.
some other fucking pertinent
Life's
news
not
from the
about
week.
segues. Yeah.
Let's just hit some of these, like I said in the car earlier, headlines that aren't really headlines kind of thing, or at least I haven't seen them as, you're not going to see this on the fucking 6 o'clock news
Yeah, right.
kind
What
of
is
shit.
it? Dick
So,
pics.
well, hang on. I was going to say, let's start with that, but I just completely fucking
pics.
ran away from my notes.
don't
I'm
worry.
afraid. Anyway, the black flag has been raised in Iran, which
What's that
means
mean? Yeah.
war
First
or
question.
vengeance.
Oh, right. Okay.
Either of those two things. And judging by the way that it's leaning, it means war.
Well, is there any instances for vengeance? Is there a reason for him?
Well,
attack
the thing is,
Iran?
like the militant group that we were speaking about last week, Hezbollah, those guys that are Hamas are the people that are like linked with Palestine.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Hezbollah are an Iranian-backed military group that have political power in Lebanon.
Okay.
And it sort of exists in Lebanon and sort of
okay.
like that kind of thing as part of their, I don't know whether they're part of their military force or...
Was it political?
Yeah, like I said, they do have like a political party or power within the Lebanon political system.
Yeah, like a bureaucracy power structure.
So, counterattacks could have happened against them.
Yeah, right.
I'm not exactly... Well,
you'd hear about that, wouldn't you?
You would hear about that, but I haven't seen anything specific about that. But it's just the fact that
it's more likely war, like you said, then.
Well, it's just the fact that they're consistently moving into other territories. Israel are bombing airports in Syria to try and disrupt supply chains to like Palestine and these other countries and stuff.
Yeah, see, like...
So that's what I mean. Like they're lashing out.
Trigger wars,
exactly.
Like attacking other countries' fucking assets.
And even
vital ones too, actually. Like,
even if they're not being attacked, they sort of look at it as a sense of like, well, if we don't act now, what's going to happen? We're next. Yeah.
Yeah. It's that whole domino effect with communism idea that went through Australia in the 70s and stuff.
Well,
about how if they get this bit, then they'll get that bit.
Exactly.
And they'll get this bit and this bit, and then they're this big and get that bit.
That's how they rationalize everything, and it seems like that's how other people are rationalizing it across Eastern Europe as well. This is probably the scariest fucking news that I saw this week, and I don't know if anybody saw this on TikTok. This video was circulating. German residents are marking the doors of Jewish occupants.
So that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Like, that's how wide this thing is spreading.
And that's all to do with Israel-Palestine.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, like, regardless of what atrocities they're committing over there,
and we're going to last place now. Like,
exactly, man.
You'd really fit. So obviously, there's still. I mean, I guess it's anywhere. There's subgroups, isn't there?
Yeah,
that sort of shit. Yeah, Nazism. Do you reckon it's direct? Is it Nazism or is it more just like religious support?
It feels like more
political support
for Palestine kind of thing.
But that's sort of how it started anyway. Like, it was more of a political party before it turned into full blown.
That's it, man. It's just it's a TikTok video at this point. In 5 years, it could be a full on ethnic cleansing.
That's sort of like the propaganda machine in many senses now.
Exactly.
Same with all the stuff you see, just with war in general. Like, it fills you up with like ideas of war and shit.
Yeah,
it consumes your time or your thought into some capacity. Makes you think more about it.
It's well, yeah, like you said, like the stuff that like you're consuming. Speaking of consuming, if anybody
Yummy.
like, if you have a weak stomach, I wouldn't recommend looking into any of this shit. But I've been following this Instagram page, Eye on Palestine, and it's producing some pretty fucking harrowing footage of just the Israelis just bombing homes and killing children and stuff like that. And like, well, did you hear about
Israel getting bombed as well?
Obviously, remember they were. Remember, that was the first thing that we spoke about. They were, right? Like the Hamas militants were attacking and breaking through the Iron Dome.
The tragedy of war, right?
Yeah,
it's like probably kids dying all over.
Exactly. That's the biggest point that I want to make here overall is the fact that like there's atrocities on both sides, but it's just the like where we're placed in the world and where a lot of people are placed in the world. It's like our political powers lean towards Israel. So that's the kind of story that we're going to be fed, is that these are the bad guys and they're attacking these guys. They're not actually going to show anything that happens on the other side of things.
Which has always been how it goes.
Exactly.
That's something I've always tried to be aware of, is like war is it's war. Like, it's fucked.
Exactly.
For both sides.
War is war. Like,
innocent people die regardless. Like, it's just different reasons.
That's
of
what I mean.
it. Like,
It's even that thing that we were
what
speaking.
justifies innocent people dying? Like, did they all sign up for this? Do they all believe in that cause
Exactly.
that they've just died for? So it's horrible. And how much shit can we get involved in before we're actually gonna be having like something happens here? That's what I always think.
Yeah.
The more like on the fringe of stuff we are and directly involved with, and the more that we weigh in on and support, the more likely it is to eventually attract it over this way as well. You
It's
know,
what we
over
were
in Taiwan
speaking.
and stuff like that. Like,
Exactly.
seems like there's going to be war everywhere
Well,
at
it's
some
what we were
points.
speaking
Like,
about last week with the whole like radicalization. Like it spreads so easily as well.
well,
And then like it becomes this tipping point that
but it's
eventually.
also like bigger. Like it's not just radicalization. It's like the global economy in the way like Taiwan's like strategically a good spot, and then it's also got like a lot of manufacturing for like a lot of computers, like hardware and stuff.
Yep.
So it's strategic. It's just a really good place that a lot of people want, and it's close enough for us to be involved, and we'll get involved. And it's like we're almost de facto to America to what they get involved in as
Yeah.
well. Almost everything by default. So it's like just kicking shit off.
We're
Like,
just going to get pulled further and further in.
yeah.
And with Iran seeming to mobilize
Not
now.
to say that like there's like sometimes there's a need for, I guess, security and protection, but it's also like a lot of it's unnecessary. I
Yeah.
think, and it's for like some kind of gain for a select few people.
Well, speaking of that, Saudi Arabia are putting a hold on a deal with Israel that would recognize them as a proper state with US-backed security, weapons deals, and a nuclear energy program.
So US is like supports that
Yes.
as well then.
But apparently,
not
over
making
the
the
things
deal.
with the things that have happened over the last couple of weeks, Saudi Arabia have taken a step back from this deal and sort of put a pause on negotiations. So
Right.
that's, like I mentioned before, is probably all to do with this whole thing of like China and Russia trying to get involved with changing the currency of what oil is traded in.
Yeah, like kill the dollar.
Yes. And the US are
Which
really
and it's
afraid that that's
dying,
going to
like,
happen because that's all.
well,
It's the hold that they have over the world.
it sort of is happening as well. Like it's getting worse. So, and like it really does seem to be like the ebb and flow of it is like goes up and then it crash. Like it'll drop, crash,
Mm-hmm.
and rebound. Eventually, we're going to crash hard enough where countries like Russia and China are strong enough to replace it straight away. As soon as our dollar isn't strong enough, they will take the market.
Yeah,
Sort of
100%.
thing. That's what they're waiting for, and all of this stuff's bleeding us to that point.
Yep.
All the war in Europe as well, like fucking us.
And then like
Oh, yeah.
even just on the simplest like, like home scale thing, it's like the cost of living over here. It's like
No, that's what I mean. Yeah,
yeah.
Global like energy prices are fucked for everybody.
Yeah,
like,
beyond
as far
fuck.
as I know.
Well,
Like,
fuel's
for us
fuel's
anyway,
ridiculous at the moment. It's only
Yeah.
going to get worse.
and same with like in the
Electricity,
UK and
yeah.
everything. Like, so bleeding us. We're bleeding out in that respect.
Yeah.
And stuff is like crashing. Like, but I'm no expert. If you look into it too much, it always seems like doom and gloom. But it seems like somehow. Well, that's what I mean. Like, it always seems like somehow places like Australia end up okay, and it's like, how long can that happen before it's not the case? Like,
Yeah, we seem so far removed from it until we're not.
well, yeah, we're not that far removed anymore. I
Yeah.
don't think like we're tied in with everything now, or a lot of stuff, that hasn't got much to do with us.
Yeah. And it became like that's also the nature of like warfare in itself, the way that technology evolves. Like,
Well, that's sort of like that's gonna have like the resources required for that sort of stuff to like sort of fuel the next technological boom with like computing and AI sort of services and shit. That's what's gonna fuel that. That's what's gonna determine where people want. You know,
yes.
that's the sort of resources people are trying to gear up for now because they can have the most advanced weapon systems ever created. So obviously that's going to be on the forefront of everybody's, like every country's agenda nearly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's such a big deal, like with China and Taiwan.
Yeah.
Australia not wanting them to be involved with it at all.
Yeah.
Because while all this is happening, all that shit still is going on there. Still like tempers are flaring sort of thing. But you just don't hear about it because this stuff's in the news now.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's like, yeah, you're right. There's constant fucking conflict going on over there. I'm sure there's still stuff going on in Russia and Ukraine, but
Yeah, for sure. As far as I know, I don't really look anymore because it's like there's that much like shit. Like,
it's hard to consume.
yeah, it's hard to feel like we're not, or, like it's hard to feel like we're always the good guys. Like,
Yes.
you know, like I always like I love my country and everything, but it's just like, what is our government involved in that like we don't really hear about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what sort of impression are we leaving on other world leaders and other countries?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a scary thought.
Yeah,
And like you said, it's way too much to just even consider. Like, there's that much shit that goes on behind the scenes we don't get fucking told about.
yeah, never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Yeah, we never fucking will. I don't know. I think probably the last thing to touch on is fucking old mate Pete Davidson.
Oh, your mate.
Your mate,
Oh,
cunt.
my fucking mate. Tell you what. Wouldn't spit on him. No, I really would. Who would? Like, why would you spit on someone?
I don't know. It's just that like everyone was real fucking amped this week because of his cold open that he did on fucking SNL talking about the
Got some new
conflict.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like
No, he
rehashing
didn't.
the exact same fucking like, you
Nothing
know,
new.
I've experienced terrorism. And it's like, yeah, you have, but it's like there's people that are directly affected by this conflict that are better to talk about it
Yeah.
than you.
Yeah, like heaps of people have experienced stuff through someone in their family dying of it.
Yeah, 100%.
You weren't a hostage. You weren't in a train that got blown up. Like, your dad died. Which is sad in itself. Obviously, a lot of people's dads died and it would be traumatic. Just like, shut up.
It's just it feels like the entire basis of his personality.
Too much so, yeah.
Yeah.
Too much of a reference point.
And
I
it's like
feel
you just like you talk about it that much that you don't have to make that fucking reference. You could have just fucking opened with your face and made statements about the conflict and people would have been
Yeah.
like, okay, that's
Yeah,
probably why
exactly.
he's there. Instead
Yeah.
of going, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
why I'm here.
People can actually like join the dots without having to say it straightforward.
Exactly. You've beat it into our fucking heads that many times that like that's
Well,
you.
I don't pay. Like, if I'm honest, he hasn't beat it in my head that much because don't pay too much attention. Never been the biggest fan of Pity Boy, but the shit I do because every time I see something, it's like an eye roll. Like,
Yeah.
literally. Why?
It just
Shut up.
Oh, fucking hell. All right.
Don't feel sorry for him.
Let's run through some other stupid ass fucking headlines here. X, formerly known as Twitter, will begin
Yeah.
charging new users $1 a year to access key features, including the ability to tweet and retweet.
To apparently stop bots, but I don't see how like these organized bot fucking manufacturer cunts are gonna not pay $1 per account to make 100 or 200 accounts. It's not gonna stop. Might increase bots because less people are gonna subscribe,
Exactly.
and then it's just gonna be like for a little bit it'll sort of be like just like news fucking media tweeting shit and bots
Responding to
It'll
it.
get to a point where it's just bots and like actual news outlets until it gets to a point where the news outlets are like, this is pointless, it's all bots.
Exactly.
And then it just dies.
Yeah, so like what
Like it's a pretty stupid forum, I reckon, to be honest. Like,
it makes absolutely fucking zero sense to me why would you spend $42 billion on a business and then spend the next 2 years just
wasn't
running
even
it into the
successful,
fucking
though,
ground?
It wasn't even that successful to begin with.
No, like
but
Twitter didn't make that much
it was
money
already
that it was
dying.
exactly that it was really worth spending that much of your
So I
fucking
had
fortune on.
fact-checking shit because people didn't take it seriously anymore.
He essentially did it like I don't even know. Like it sort of started as a joke when he
He
was
didn't
talking
do-
about doing it, like buying Twitter.
Yeah. I don't. Well, he tried to get out of it. If you don't remember.
Yeah,
Like,
I do
he
remember
didn't
that.
want to do it at the end, and they like made him do it.
Yeah, because he'd gone that far through the fucking
yeah. Like
process
they
of it.
started like they were selling up. Like,
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They were done. They made plans. You know, you make a deal that big, you start to make plans off of it.
Yeah, when someone's like, "I'll give you $42 billion,"
you got a lot of people to pay off. Like,
Yeah.
you got redundancies and fucking
Well,
accounts
and then
to close.
like then after he bought it, he fired all of the
Yeah,
fucking
just see
staff.
ya. Why? I'll get a bot to do it.
Yeah.
I'll get a bot to find out how to have less bots. The cunt is a bot though. Like he might be an
100%.
AI
He
model
like
cyborg. Like
I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, Musk bot.
It's him and fucking Drake.
Literally.
Just
Drake.
AIs.
He's made by Disney though. He's a different sort of. He's a different interface. He's the entertainment model.
Elon was made by Microsoft,
Yeah, nah, Linux. Like he's a bit more serious.
which will slowly be owned by Disney anyway.
Yeah, everything's getting bought. Disney will own everything.
Yeah.
Disney will own those shoes that you wear.
Surprised Disney doesn't own this podcast.
Yeah, well, I'd do it to be honest.
I'm actually gonna do some. How funny?
$50 is $50.
How fucking
man.
hilarious would it be if I go through like the fucking thing? And it's just like, oh, Disney owns Acast.
Oh fuck! And then we get cancelled because they know we know too much.
The ghost of
like-
Walt Disney just rises through the floor.
The headless guys. Did you see that conspiracy? They reckon that's why they made Frozen. So when people would Google Walt Disney Frozen, it'd just be all like the movie and not him being cryogenically frozen.
No, I never saw that.
Yeah, it's conspiracy, but it makes sense.
It does make sense.
Yeah, so basically if you search it now, it's just virtually the movie and then stuff discrediting that he was frozen.
Because he is frozen, isn't he?
I can't remember.
I feel
Yeah,
like he is.
I reckon he is, but I don't know. He was a freak. Like he was actually a freak. If you don't know about him, you should.
I've never really looked into him.
Sick fuck.
Oh, I knew he was like
He's
he's a massive fucking Nazi, isn't he?
Among other things, yeah, he's just a weirdo.
Really?
Yeah,
It
he's
gets
a
worse.
weirdo. Yeah, and like secret society sort of shit. There is that sort of shit.
Oh,
that he's
okay.
involved in.
Maybe we'll do some research for next
Bizarre.
week and look into the deep dark of fucking Disney.
Maybe. He's a weird cunt, I'm telling you.
I'm not lying.
You can look him up.
I swear.
Have you heard of him? Yeah, let's do that, but it is interesting.
Yeah, that's not a bad topic to cover.
If hopefully other people find it interesting.
Yeah.
I find it interesting. Maybe I just like weird cunts. Makes me feel better about myself, you know?
Well, I suppose that's a nice little segue onto our next story. It does make me
Yeah.
feel a little bit better about myself as a person, but not as an Australian.
I'm serious.
These fucking idiots that went on some massive bender in Vegas and got themselves
Oh.
banned from a bunch of fucking
Yeah.
Ugh.
Something I would have done when I was like 17
bread gang.
or 18, maybe 20.
Drunk moments,
How
drunk
old is
shadow
he?
boxing,
Age
and
is
more
important.
behavior.
Shadow boxing. They pretended to do CPR. Someone pretended to like pass out or whatever and then do CPR in the middle
Oh
of,
yeah,
like,
that's
this
real
lobby.
fucking funny. Hey,
Yeah, literally like teenagers. Like age is relevant for this scenario. It seems like that was super. The only way I could picture like not being acceptable, but you being like, oh yeah, makes sense, is like being super young, never done anything like it before, and they're just like, even then you get banned from like they got banned the first night from somewhere. That's usually someone's wake up call. After that, if you're still getting fucked on, like you're still getting kicked out of shit, you're choosing, what you're doing.
exactly.
You know, like you're actually setting out to be like, yeah, fucking got kicked out.
Age is really hard to define with the amount of
They
fucking.
look old, but
Well,
then
that's
they
the thing
don't,
because
like-
all the kids do from the age of 16 these days is just blow $300 up their nose every week, so they look like a fucking
They look like
35-year-old when they're 22.
Literally, yeah, like a 35-year-old that's like literally went to bed in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, and woke up.
Yeah.
today. It's just bizarre what cunts look like.
Same haircut and nearly the same attitude.
Yeah, just like Australiana, mate.
But
Ugh.
it's just like, what is with this persistence of fucking Australian tourists going around the world and just making us seem like backwards fuckwits?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but there is a bit of a reputation for that, eh?
Yeah.
Of like Aussies abroad. That yeah.
Apparently, yeah, we are some of the worst.
I mean, I know I can be the worst.
Yeah.
I can see it. You know what I mean?
I can be pretty fucking bad.
Don't like some of the stuff I've done in my life while intoxicated.
You know the only thing that might be worse than Aussie tourists at the
But no,
moment,
it's
though?
bad, but yeah, what's that?
French tourists.
Oh, yuck. Yeah, don't let him in your house.
Don't let them in your fucking anywhere, man.
Yeah, get some bed bugs on you. Do you believe that?
Well, I didn't until you fucking told me and sort of ran
Yeah,
through that
that's right.
story.
You didn't believe it then.
Yeah, it was fucking like, so you told me about it, so just give me a
Yeah.
quick run through of what's going
I don't know
the fuck
heaps.
on.
It's just they're like overrun by bed bugs. I'm pretty sure they had to cancel public transport for a period to clean everything and stuff. They can't get on top of it. It's like those streets filled with mattresses and shit. Like everyone's getting it.
In this modern age.
And it's like, yeah, in this modern age. But obviously they're like resistant to, well, that's what I would assume. They must be resistant to normal approaches, and that's why they've gotten out of control. And from what I read, it was the sort of thing you don't know you've got them until you're like a little bit overrun by them.
Okay.
Because I think, I don't know exactly how, but that must be like, mustn't get too itchy straight away or something. So, but yeah, apparently it's not good. It sounds disgusting.
Yeah, sounds pretty fucking gross, hey?
You'd think all the garlic would like repel it.
Yeah.
Like, like maybe that's what made them so strong.
Vampire
like,
bed bugs.
Yeah, they're just like resistant.
Well, they do suck blood.
That's what I mean. Like, there's a link for sure.
100%.
They've grown to like garlic.
Love it.
Maybe that's what they need. Maybe it's just the garlic now. And if they just left cloves out, they just eat the cloves of garlic,
Yeah.
sucking their garlicky blood.
Like Santa and cookies.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta leave out clothes for the bed bugs.
Yeah. And then if your parents wanted to leave something out and they didn't want you snooping around for it, they could just be like, yeah, we're just going to leave him some carrots for his reindeer.
Yeah.
So then you're not going to come out and try and get him later. What kind of kid would steal off Santa? Me. What's he done for me this year? That's what I used to say. First time I've seen him all year.
What did you do for me?
No, but I don't know Santa nothing.
What's he done for me lately?
Yeah.
He's fucking been around?
Yeah, where are ya, Santa?
Please.
Come back. So yeah, no, I'd eat his cookies straight up.
Fuck the dog. Oh, all right.
I'd pretend he took him still, so people must have known what was going on. You know? I'd be like, oh, yeah, the cookie is.
Last order of
And
business.
they'd be like, what the fuck? I was gone before
What?
we went to. Oh, nothing, I'm rambling.
Last order of business.
I was just
You got a new job.
playing out a scenario.
Again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll get a few, to be honest. I'm just filling in time till I study next year now.
So wait, hang on. What are you studying next year?
I'm thinking about counselling, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah. And a little bit of music too, if I have time.
I think about 90% of the people that you worked with last week need counselling.
That's not going to help. No. You're born with that.
So you were working
What?
at a framing place?
Oh, yeah, building house frames.
Yes.
I would call it. Didn't like it. Like, yeah. the
Terrible.
People were painful. This one dude, he just, like, spoke to me like I had to know everything, like I should know, like, everything straight away. So that was frustrating.
Yeah, which is the
Had a
most
couple
painful fucking
arguments.
experience.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. At first, I was just like, oh, this guy's an idiot. But when you have to be trained by somebody that isn't training you, but then getting the shits with you for not knowing what you're doing,
Yeah.
gets a bit frustrating.
Yeah, because he has
So
no
brain
right
dead.
to
I
be
think
fucking
it's just-
angry at you.
I think you're just angry doing that job, to be honest. Like, you just stand in one spot. So,
Yeah, because like I said before, it's like you're not. There's
you're not
nothing.
doing anything.
Yeah, there's nothing that's
Chilling.
like tired at the end of the day, like because you're not being
Felt like I was getting
physically
tennis
active.
elbow because you're like this.
Oh yeah, you get like repetitive strain injuries from doing shit,
That's
but it's
literally it.
not like heavy physical work that you're actually like tired from at the end of the day.
No. Just fucking frustrated.
Yeah,
Because you've been standing there for 8-10 hours, just like in
and
that
had
spot.
the same idiots saying the same things.
Yeah, even in between, like, fuck, like, that can't stop talking to me after I said I was gonna fucking hit him in the head with a hammer. Yeah,
People generally do that.
that's what I realized. Like, fucking,
This works.
I meant it. But even then, like, fuck, it's just, I'd rather be moving,
Yeah.
you know, keep the belly down. Getting old, it doesn't just happen anymore.
Got
These rugged good looks.
to keep the pounds off. But it's like, how long were you there for?
Couple weeks.
And like nobody ever really made any attempt to like
Oh, fuck
approach
no,
you
no
or
one knew
fucking.
me. No, I was just Oi, mate. Like, to everybody. I did introduce myself. Obviously, when you go somewhere, you introduce yourself.
Yeah.
But it was like the cunts that I did wouldn't speak to me again or something, like, or just forget, which I didn't care. I usually forget people's names too.
Yeah.
Or just literally, because I was just like, a couple cunts were just like, looked at me like I was a weird cunt. They're like, oh, I'm Shannon. How you going? They're just like, oh, I'm fucking. It's like, all right. So I just didn't bother, you know?
Yeah, that's it.
By,
You
like,
can
a
get the
few
like.
days, I was just like, oh, whatever. I'll just work. But then I couldn't just work either because then the fucking cunt started annoying the fuck out of me.
Yeah,
So-
trying to like tell you to fucking turn programs on that you don't know how to fucking operate.
Yeah. Literally, I didn't know how to turn it. Like, so got there, hadn't been taught how to do this yet. But like, I was standing there waiting for this cunt because he was quickly doing something. So I was like, oh, you'll do that and then set this up. He'd finish what he's doing, turn around and be like, oh, I'd help if you turned it on. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't know how to do that. I haven't been shown. Like, and this was first thing in the morning, so it was sort of a little bit funny. Like, I was just like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and he's like, oh, it's here. And then fucking showed me and turned it on, pressed these buttons and it turned on. And like, the computer screen was just loading. So just a computer, like, connected to a machine. It's just like literally a Windows fucking backdrop. And he's like, oh, like after like a minute, he'd be like, oh, I'd help if you fucking, no, what do you say? Like, oh, it'd probably be smart if you opened the program. And that's when I was just like, well, what the fuck's the program? I didn't even know how to turn it on, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it.
know how to, like.
Are you under the impression that like I know
thought you were
everything
coming
outside
to
of
do
that?
it. Yeah. He's like, oh, it's here. And then there was another thing I had to do that I didn't know about.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's just like, fuck off. And then because it took ages, he had to like pump him out. And he was full, like, just like, doosh, trying to pump it. All you do is press these buttons and it cuts him and nails him. And then you throw him up on a belt. So
Yeah.
it's just like you stand here and go like that. He's like, whoop, 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 trying to pump it. And then he does like a frame. And then he's like, hits the button. And he's like, you're up.
You're up.
Yeah. I was like, all right, bro.
It's your turn, big fella.
Went like even slower. Like, you fuck with. I won't even lose my job, cunt.
Oh, fucking hell. All right. So,
Even when I left, they're like, oh, you going? I was like, yeah, bro. I'm like, why? And I was like, not my cup of tea.
yeah, fuck all of you.
This bloke's fuck with. I also don't like to work.
Oh, speaking of
Anyway.
ending your job,
Mm.
I can end this here podcast.
Oh, we're done. Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet.
About 40 minutes or so. That'll be
Fuck.
enough for the people.
Yeah, I can rant these days.
It's been a long weekend, so I'm fucking
Yeah, it's been a
rooted.
big one, eh?
A lot of traveling, a lot of
Journey.
fucking interactions,
A lot of K's, mate.
a lot of fucking getting fucked around for buying technology and Jesus
Ugh.
Christ.
Wild goose chasing.
Anyway, you can find us at Return of the Wack podcast on Instagram, at Return of the Wack on YouTube. I do a combat sports podcast, Squared Circle Combat Sports podcast, and you can find us on Instagram personally if you want to look hard enough. Until then, we'll be back next week. We'll see you then.
Toodle-oodle-doodle.